Hello once again, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Welcome back.
So we're looking at down detector, guys. I had problems uploading to Writing today, but that's not unusual because it seems like every other day it's either Brightian or BitChute that there's problems with. As we know, there's definitely a lot going on that doesn't meet the eye, and there's a lot of censorship going on, obviously. Well, look at this. This is down detector. Look at YouTube TV. Ooh, major outages underway. We see Instagram has got some, but not as bad. Spectrum very high, Google very high, YouTube Music really high, Google Play, Comcast, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, Cox. Reddit's doing okay at the moment. Mediacom's okay. Facebook's up. Twitter's rising. To me, it feels like, it's curious who is down, is it not?
Well, is this everybody that's down is kind of controlled by who?
Yeah, obviously there's been a suppression on, one side of the story in regards to a certain major event that happened on November 3rd.
Yes, there has been.
As we know, and it's getting uglier and uglier. And Florida Maki put up a vid, and it's obviously going to be a huge controversial vid. If you guys haven't checked out his last vid, it's the type of vid that makes your channel go away.
It does, and we just so happened we couldn't play it.
I know, so we figured it was just the vid. Maybe it was taken down, or maybe he was taken down. But then we see all these outages. Frontier, Sprint, Optimum, Wow, Metro, T-Mobile, Roku. Interesting. Spotify, Twitch, RCN, FPL is up and down a little bit there. Gmail, Google Drive, Xbox Live. Some of you gamers are having withdrawal right now.
Sorry, guys.
So it's interesting. Not all, though. We see some things are not being impacted by this. So far, all I found is this post is YouTube down. Thousands report server crash on Wednesday. And so this is only like 6 minutes old. And we went over to Godlike, and I saw two people had posted saying, hey, why is nobody talking about the fact that YouTube is down?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Is this a pushback somehow? I wonder, because when we look at who's down, again, we have Twitter, and we have Facebook, YouTube, and we have Google.
I might get more information later, but as I ask right now what is going on to try to get some information flow in, I see this black dot. So I don't know.
That's interesting. Interesting. And, last night we had gotten kind of a message that things could get way more intense in about 3 days or so, around the 14th, that we will start seeing, more direct clashes. Let's just put it that way. Direct clashes. Things are going to get a lot more intense around the 14th.
Yeah, where people might be a little more upset than usual.
Yeah, and we also got that it's a good idea to hunker down, to hopefully everybody's stocked up. Hopefully everybody's got plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of all the necessities, or you don't really have to go out for a little while. Or if you do, then definitely avoid places of conflict. Like, if you live around Seattle or Portland, you might not want to go into downtown. That's going to be an obvious thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, the message from the Galactics was basically get ready to hunker down because things are going to start getting way more intense. They said about 3 days, but that was at 3 a.m., so that was on the 11th. So, around the 14th, which happens to be that eclipse again. So,
yeah, so we don't know. Just be safe, you guys.
Most definitely. And, the way we get the information is different ways. It's not always trance channeling. Cindy was doing trance channeling. It doesn't agree with her physically. So now she, is mostly just getting it through impressions and even direct communication. She could just simply directly communicate with them.
Yeah, and there will be another time when I can trance channel again. I think they're building up my heart right now. There's some issues there, so we go around and we still get the information. It's just kind of, I've always had this thing where this information came through me no matter what, just no matter what. And the doctors tried really hard to stop it, but they never could. So the information comes.
Yeah. So there was also like one comment that was saying you have to discern spirits, and anything that's channeled as evil. And that's, obviously we discern spirits. I mean, we've been doing this our whole lives, and Cindy, if she doesn't mind me saying, she's 46 and I'm 55. So this is nothing new to us. She's been seeing spirits since she can remember.
Yeah, it started, even I really clearly remember stuff at the age of 5. But I know it was going on before then and definitely after then and all my life. And yeah.
Yeah, the first time I saw something was when I was 5. And that was also when my brother died. Then again, from then onwards, I had interaction with spirits too. It was just a normal thing. Last night we woke up. Well, even before we woke up, there was an entity that was, here. Because the discarnates, it's a little bit like, do you guys remember Ghost? You remember Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost? Well, that's Cindy. She could see them all the time. And like today, we were making a video, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a little boy, and to me, he looked to be maybe about 8 or 9, something like that. And he's just staring at me. And so I just said to Cindy, I said, is there a little boy over there just staring at me? And she confirmed. And then she started to describe him, and it was exactly as I saw him. And, this is just a typical day for us. We have interactions with discarnates every day. It's just normal. It's something that we're just used to. It doesn't freak us out. We're used to it. It's part of what's been our lives our entire life.
Right. And, they do go to great lengths to make sure that people, if they do start seeing stuff, they send you to a doctor and try to make that go away. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Drop Dead Fred. It's a good funny movie.
That was a funny one. That was a good one, too. So we could tell what we're interacting with. And so last night, the Arcturians came by and did some DNA upgrades, and their energy feels a certain way. It looks a certain way to me. I could see the different colors of the energy. And there's this angelic being that comes by and checks our energy every so often, and he looks very much kind of like he belongs with Adama over in Telos, very Pleiadian looking, but is angelic. And then we get communications from Laurel from the Pleiadians on a regular basis. And, we don't always report every single interaction, but the interaction is daily.
Yeah, it is. It's, it just is what it is. So.
Yeah, most definitely. But the thing is, too, everybody out there, your abilities are increasing, too. So this is going to get to be just kind of normal for people maybe another 20 years down the line. And I know there'll be people saying nobody's going to be left on Earth in 20 years, but there will be. There's always a remnant that survives, and I don't think the planet's going to get totally destroyed. Even Edgar Casey remembers, well, he saw himself incarnating in Nebraska in 2100, and Nebraska is basically oceanfront property at that point.
Right. It's pretty crazy.
So it's easy to discern when you have your third eye open and, have gone through this process, because you could actually see, you could actually know, you feel it energetically. It's just obvious. And it's obvious too with humans. So it's very obvious when we look at certain people, like politicians. We could tell exactly where they're at. And that's why everything that's going on right now is going on right now, because a lot of people out there are going to know exactly when they're lying. They'll be able to tell. They'll be able to see their aura. They'll be able to see the colors change. You're not going to be able to hide anything in the future.
Right. And plus with politicians, usually, at least this has been my experience, they're lying when their lips are moving.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, that's the case most of the time. So we just wanted to touch on that. And, there's interesting outages. We had said before, and I've said for the longest time, I felt like we'd have major outages before we are done with 2020. I've been expecting major outages going, possibly starting this month, but definitely moving into December. I think we'll see some major outages, and we interestingly enough have some activities starting in the sun at the same time.
Yeah, so just be aware, help your family just sort of on the sidelines, make sure they're prepared or help them prepare as best you can, and just stay safe.
Yes, stay safe, guys. Stay prepared. As always, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.